Working on a Subaru Impreza this morning. Code has 4 variants and I don't have a chip to go by, and I really don't have time to make a lot of spray outs this morning. I got a full-size fan coming to do the side on. I'm going to go with the standard and blend. I didn't get blend time on the right fender. I'm just going to go ahead and blend that and hope for the best and make a spray out, so the next time I run into this color I'll be able to make a better choice. I'm going to run through a fairly quick job here using the waterborne paint system. Mr. Adams, I had a question on just some of the techniques that I use spraying water. Once you get through the minor differences, it really sprays the same. You just got to get used to how bad it looks when you put it on. It goes on real blotchy, but like you said, when you get the water out of it, the metallic lays out nice. There's just a few little differences and precautions you got to take. Little extra cleaning. Light sand scratches for metallics will really show up. You want to put down, my system, you use the binder that's in the formulas. You just over reduce that and you run that down on your panel before you do your blends with your metallic. I'll probably do that with this just to show you. Basically, I'm doing a repair on a Subaru Impreza front fender on the left, little repair in the front, and new bumper. It's raw plastic. I'm going to seal that with our primer system. It has an all plastic reducer that's good for all different types of plastic, and I'll do that wet on wet, and then I'll be ready to start laying down base coat. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm into this right fender because there's about 4 versions of this color, and I don't have any chips to go by, and I really don't have time to make a bunch of spray outs today, so I'm going to blend into this fender that we didn't get paid to blend, that we should have got paid to blend, but the insurance companies don't often give you blend time on fenders if you're doing a bumper, because a lot of times they don't match from the factory anyways. And but it took me about 4 minutes to prep this, to get this fender sanded. I just dry sanded it, and it's just going to save me a lot of headaches down the road, I think, just making... That bumper went on and this side didn't match. I'd be kind of on the hook, probably here late tonight redoing it or something. Don't really want to do that. There's a van I got to do later today. It has to be done today, so I'm just going to do what I got to do. It's the choices you make at the beginning of the job can save you a lot down the road. It's really good to plan ahead. It'll make this job go a lot faster. I lost a few minutes on another fender, but it's really not a huge panel. So, okay, I'm going to finish masking and then we'll start spraying. So this is my formula for that Subaru color. Those are the tints. These are the weights. Each tint I pour down till each one of these zero out on the scale. There's all the tints poured in. Now I'm just going to take it off the scale. Actually, I'm going to choose my, based on the humidity today, before you were with the solvent base coats, depending on the temperature and the size of the job, you'd go with a slow or a fast reducer. Now it's pretty much how much or how little water additive do you give it, depending on the humidity. This is going to take me into a thing where I can choose what percentage. For metallic, I'm going to probably go 30% today. On a lighter metallic, if it doesn't blend out, I'll go 40% on a fairly dry day, but most days here are fairly humid. Maybe I'll start getting some coverage at 30%, and then I'll put just another 10% in for the final blend, and the rest of it's just gun technique, but it's a lot like just spraying the old stuff, really. And the other thing is with these water-based tints, they come in smaller containers. You're ordering them more. They do have a shorter shelf life than solvent, And also in the winter time, if you have a power outage, you got to figure out how to make sure these don't freeze. They will be junk if they freeze. Alright, so I just added 30% of the water activator. One thing with this stuff, with my system, anything with a metallic in it or one of the binders, it's only good for a day unless you add another 5% of this stuff, which will give it a 30-day window. So if I'm mixing paint ahead of time for jamming the car and stuff, that's what I'll put into it. There's just a few little differences. And next I'm gonna mix up the binder that goes in a lot of these formulas, that it kind of spreads the metallic out. It's that right there. I mix that with 20% water and I lay that on the panel first, and it gives a nice even surface for the first few coats of base to lay onto. That way your metallic's not settling into a stray scratch here and there, and you'll see that if you don't put that down. I don't need it with this color as much, but I'll do it. It's more for the light metallics. Also, I'll be making another spray out because I don't know, next time I run into this color, at least I'll know if the standard is any good or not. And I'm blending good today, and I'll know how many coats to put on. And I'll be using the SATA jet that's set up for waterborne paint with the let's see, the 3000B WSB tip, and I've sealed that bumper already, and I'm going to be putting on my binder mixture next. Also, the disposable cups are pretty much the only way to go with this system. It can clog up quick, and you need this fine filter, and it's pretty much the only way to go. The metal cups really don't work well with this stuff. Alright, here's my first step. Yeah, it looks green, doesn't it? That's actually going to dry clear and provide a good base for blending on. But isn't that crazy how that looks? It's kind of psychedelic. And this is the part of the job that really blows. On a dry day, that goes pretty fast. It's probably faster than a solvent. On a humid day, not so fast. Can't really see it drying right now, but now you can see that dried out like you didn't even put it on, but it'll help the metallic lay down evenly. By the looks of this spray out, I'm looking at 3 or 4 coats coverage. Here's the front of the fender that I'm blending. First few coats, I want to kind of aim my overspray away from my blend area. I want to get coverage, and then I'm going to kind of run it in a little further, and then I'll do a lower pressure drop coat, and you just kind of go in and you just kind of flick your wrist at the end. You don't. One coat. You can still see through it a little. We'll let that dry. Well, that's 2 coats. I don't know, 3 might do it on here. On the panel itself, that dark gray primer, I probably have covered with 2 coats, but I'll go another coat or 2, and then I'll start my blend. And this side, I just put a couple light coats on because it's already the right color pretty much. I'm just tying it in with what I'm doing on the bumper so it'll match. And the bumper's been sealed, and I just gotta let it dry with the air dryers. It's a good idea to do your first coat kind of light just in case there's any contaminant on there. It'll fish out like crazy, and I like crazy, and it's easier to fix if it's a light coat. But after your first few coats, I go a little heavier to get the job done. And if it's fairly humid and takes a while to dry, I just let the air stand do the job, and I go outside and start prepping the next job. As you can see, I got a full-size van sitting out there doing a whole side on, and that'll be good. Well, that's 3 good coats on this spray out. I'm going to go with a 4th for sure, as I can still see right through. I got all my info on here, formula, date, and everything I'm going to need to know. Next time I run into this color, I want to know everything about it. Spraying it, there's an inlet gauge on my gun. It's at 29 psi. You want to keep that the same when you're making your spray outs, because different air pressures will change your metallic and change the shade of the color. So they got to be all sprayed the same. Now I'm going to shut the booth lights off, go in there with my sun gun, because I probably have coverage over that dark gray primer, but it's always good to know. And this will also show you if there's any moisture that you still need to get out of there. You don't want moisture down when you're laying your clear coat, so this is what I'll do next. Alright, booth lights are off. Let's give this a look. From what I'm seeing, I can just see a little primer. One more coat will do it. Then I'll do a drop coat, and I'll fade it into the side a little more, and she'll be ready to clear coat. Alright, it's about 4 coats coverage there. I can still see a little tiny line there, but that's just the primer to the factory clear coat transition. I think my drop coat will cover that. I've dropped my pressure down to 26 pounds. And now I'm going to put what you call the drop coat or a metallic orientation coat or something like that. And you want to put this on kind of dry. You want it to go on hazy with this particular system. And you want to go out a little further than you did with everything else, and you want to flick your wrist at the very end when you're going off trigger. You kind of want to go like this. Put it on hazy. That's it. Not as tough of a color to blend as a light metallic. Those are the worst. You really want to use all these techniques for a light metallic. Another great thing, you still need your solvent gun cleaner for your clear coats and your primers, and then you need a special waterborne gun cleaner with a whole different type of cleaner in it for your waterborne paints. Actually, if you guys spray it at home, it wouldn't be a bad item to use. It doesn't smell. Your neighbors wouldn't know you were spraying it. Might take forever to dry if it's a rainy week or something, but hey, put a big coat on the car, walk away, come back the next morning. You know, as long as you don't have a big bug sitting in the middle of it that you have to sand out, put another coat down or whatever you got to do. It is pretty expensive though. And all right, now I'm going to clear coat the bumper first. I'm going to add a flex additive into that. My clear coat's solvent based. It's temperature sensitive. It's 75 degrees right now, which is pretty nice. And I'm going to go with clear coat. I'm going to add a little bit of flex additive. I'm going to put in my hardener, my activator. I'm going to shoot the bumper, and then I'm going to come back, remix without the flex additive, and do those fenders. This year's all cleared. I'm not going to worry about color match too much. It looks like everything blended out nice. Also suggest a nice drive-through spray booth. That way you can move your painted car out and bring your next one in. Oh, this is my blended panel. I baked this for about 10 minutes, 160 degrees air. I'm going to let the sun finish baking it today. It'll be a pretty good match. Blended beautiful. Worked out pretty nice. One thing about the waterborne, it does blend metallics nice. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. I got one way back called Clear Coating an Audi. I attached a spray camera to my spray gun. A little bit of clear coat technique on that if anybody wants to see it. Let's see, Piss's channel. As you can see, we don't allow any Chuchosauruses here. Your Chuchosauruses are pretty lucky. Rig Fix, keep cranking out those cool vids. Wild-Eyed Northern Boy, I've been watching some of your vids. Really sorry about your truck, that bite. I know what it's like to just not feel like getting back into something you've already worked on. Slow SRT, I'm just catching up on your vids. Pretty cool stuff. A few of the other you guys that I've been watching really like the stuff. Oh well, I gotta get back to work. And of course, James Freddy's, congratulations on all the subscribers. You deserve it. You got a cool channel. Alright guys, thanks for watching.